The biggest draw to the DS minor for me was when I first came into it, I thought that I knew a lot about disabilities because I had grown up with it, but then I've learned so much more that I didn't know. Professor Vic Marks showed us the video that she did with choreographic disability. I have a theater background, and I thought that that was the coolest thing, being able to use people's disabilities not as a hindrance, but as a part of the art that she created.
Disability studies really gives us tools to think about how the normative body is constructed, and that's something that can relate to so many different fields. So if we're talking about architecture, design, anthropology, English, it encourages creative thinking and new perspectives. So I think that students can begin to look at people with disabilities as innovators in their field. Coming from my perspective of teaching predominantly about autism, I feel many of my students have their eyes opened that they never have thought about it as a positive difference. Often they've been informed by tragedy models or medical models, and so their minds are blown, and it's really exciting for them.
I'd grown up with like, we need to cure autism, we need to cure autism, and that always seemed like, yeah, that sounds great. And now I'm like, well, maybe a cure is possible, but it might not be what we should be looking towards. We should be looking more towards acceptance and tolerance, and I loved that I was able to learn that in a class here at UCLA.
So a lot of people think, well, disability is like deafness and blindness or autism and various different kinds of disabilities, you know. Often in mainstream society, the eradication of those things is the goal, you know. But we're coming from a slightly different perspective on the imagination of what the future might look like for deaf people in America. And it's a sense not so much of disability, but rather the history of a people.
Disability is a universal thing. It covers all aspects of life, and it's very likely to touch every one of us in some way during our life. Pathway is a program designed to give students with intellectual disabilities an opportunity to have a college experience here at UCLA. So they live near campus, they take classes, and participate in as many aspects of campus life as possible. We use the interns to act as educational coaches for our students, helping them with their academic studies. So that's a great student-to-student connection.
Going through the internships, many of our students are planning to go into the helping or the medical profession. So they want to be doctors, they want to be occupational therapists, they want to be speech therapists. But I think that helping role, once they get into the field, can be reoriented to a more partnership role. So they're able to see that the people that they will be working with have very valuable perspectives that can inform them the way that they will be providing care in the future.
Because every single person who participates in the minor is very passionate about some aspect of the field.
I really like how it has opened up my perspectives on the world and on the disability rights movement.
It was a New York Times article saying that disability studies is the new normal. I mean, it clearly is such an energized and energizing field. But we still don't have a solid home on campus. So it's like we're not fully located yet in the university landscape and in the community. I think what would be so amazing if we could have an endowed chair, if we could have someone with both the vision and the time to devote to really developing this program, that just like the sky would be the limit.
Worlds apart, worlds apart.
Same stars through my window that you see through yours, but we're worlds apart, worlds apart.
Just like the earth, just like the sun. Two worlds together are better.